Hi everyone, my name is Shanizan Herman and today I will show you how to play Ace of Math. Ace of Math is a card game that involves basic mathematical operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Each player will collect certain number of cards and combines with any basic operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division to generate mathematical expressions for the numbers given in the objective. Each objective are tied with certain points. Players need to solve the questions by completing the objective as to collect points. The winner will be determined by the highest points collected at the end of the game. Before starting the game, each player needs to know the game component for Ace of Math. The game component consists of two groups of cards. The first one is objective cards. And then the operation card, which is broken down into three types, namely number cards, consists of 0 until 9, basic mathematical operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, which is double-sided, okay, multiplication with division and subtraction with addition. And finally, the action cards. Before start playing the Ace of Math, player need to separate cards into three parts. Objective cards, basic operation card consists of action card and number cards only, and basic mathematical operation card, which includes subtraction and addition and also division and multiplication. After these cards are segregated, place the basic mathematical operations card in the center of the table so that the players can reach for this card within the game round. Divide the cards evenly so that addition and subtraction and also multiplication and division are visible, like this. Shuffle objective cards and open 4 cards for 3 to 4 players and 3 cards for 2 players and place them on top of the basic mathematical operation card. And finally, shuffle all operation cards and distribute 6 cards for all players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place the remaining operation card in the middle of the table to make it a general draw pile for operation card that will be taken by players later. Before starting the game, every player needs to take two basic mathematical operation cards. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Right now, players can strategize on which objectives to solve. Select the first player and you can start playing Ace of Math. In each round, player needs to do the following phase. Take 2 cards, either from the operation deck, here, 1, 2, or one each from the operation deck and from the basic operation mathematics, or any two of the mathematical operations here. Players should note that the mathematical operation cards have two sides. For example, this card has two sides for division and multiplication, and this card has a side of addition and subtraction. So players need to be aware and strategize whether to use any of the sides in order to solve the objective here. After taking two cards, the player can do the following. First, play an action card and or solve the objective here. If a player wants to play an action card, the player must announce the action to all players and execute the action stated on the card. After completion, place the action card used on the discard pile. For example, this is the discard pile, and for this example, this is the action card that the player wants to play. He needs to announce it, which is all players pass one operation card to the left. So starting with the first player, or starting with the player who played this card, he needs to pass one card to the other player, and followed by the next player, and so on. And then after playing this card is being put into the discard pile here. If a player wants to solve one of the objective presented, that player needs to take out the cards that form the math expression for solving the objective. For example, this player wants to complete the following objective, number 15. The player take out the cards of 3, multiply by 4, which is 12, and then plus 3 from his hand, which contribute to number of 15. Let's briefly look at how to play Ace of Math. For this tutorial video, I'll show you how to play Ace of Math for 3 players. Let's say that this player is the first player. This player is the first player, second player, and the third player. In Ace of Math, each player, starting from the first player, will try to build an expression that can solve the objective that's visible in play. If the player fails to do so, the player must end his turn and pass it to the next player on his left. The order of the game is in clockwise. Now I will show an example of Ace of Math game session. This is the first player. Okay, this is his hand. As to start his turn, he needs to draw 2 cards. For example, he draws 2 from the operation deck here. And from the look of his hand, he doesn't have any action card. So he skipped the action card phase, and he should try to solve the objective here. So from the cards that he has, he can produce the number 13 here by forming an expression consisting of 4 multiplied by 3 and then add 1 here. With this expression, it will form 13. Take out the objective card 13 and place it in front of the player. Take the multiplication card, which shows 1 point here, and put it in front of the player as well. Return the addition card to the mathematical operation draw pile and put the rest of the cards into the discard pile. And then open 1 new objective card. Then the player to the left takes his turn. As usual, he needs to draw 2 cards. First, he takes from the operation card draw pile, and the other, he takes this multiplication card. The player also has no action card, so he skips to solving objective phase. The second player cannot complete any objective. Therefore, the second player submits the player's turn to the third player here. The third player, from his card, he takes 2 cards as to start his turn. One from here and one addition here. And then the third player wants to play an action card, which is this one. Swap one objective card from the draw pile. Okay, he announces it and then he executes the action. So for example, he wants to discard number 8 as for this objective. So he discard it and draw a new one. Okay, after playing one action, he needs to solve the objective if possible. If not, he will pass his turn to the first player again. Right, from these cards, the third player able to solve one objective, which is number 24, by combining the expression of 8 multiply 1 and then multiply 3, which contributes to 24. Thus, the third player collect 4 points. 2 points from here and 1 plus 1 point from here and 1 point from here. Place all the cards with points in front of the third player and return all excess cards to the discard pile here. Do not forget to open a new objective card. And then the game turns back to the first player. The game will continue until the last objective card is opened. If this happens, the game will stop at the end of the player who opened the last objective card. Calculate each player points here or here and the second player. The player who accumulates the highest score is the winner. In the event of the draw, the player who can solve the most objective is the winner of Ace of Math. If it is still a draw, then the player shares the win. Whenever during play, the operation deck has exhausted in any round, shuffle back the discard pile to form a new operation deck. Players need to bear in mind that the multiplication here and division card are limited in this game, and it will be claimed as the players use this card in order to solve the objective. So players need to race to collect this card in order to get more points as to win the game, of course. That's all you need to know on how to play Ace of Math. I hope this game will bring a positive effect in learning math. If you have any questions regarding this game, don't hesitate to contact us via Facebook at SeriousGame@UUM. Enjoy the game. Goodbye.